The scripture reading this morning is found on Pew Bible page 5, Genesis 18 through 32. Pew Bible page 5, Genesis 18 through 32. When Jared had lived 162 years, he became the father of Enoch. And after he became the father of Enoch, Jared lived 800 years and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Jared lived 962 years and then he died. When Enoch had lived 65 years, he became the father of Methuselah. And after he became the father of Methuselah, Enoch walked with God 300 years and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Enoch lived 365 years. Enoch walked with God, then he was no more because God took him away. When Methuselah had lived 187 years, he became the father of Lamech. And after he became the father of Lamech, Methuselah lived 782 years and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Methuselah lived 969 years and then he died. When Lamech had lived 182 years, he had a son. He named him Noah and said, "He will comfort us in the labor and painful toil of our hands caused by the ground the Lord has cursed." After Noah was born, Lamech lived 595 years and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Lamech lived 777 years and then he died. After Noah was 500 years old, he became the father of Shem, Ham, and Japheth. May the Lord bless the reading of his word.
Before I get into the sermon, we announced we were having a contest today. Whoever brought the most visitors gets $10 per person for the visitors you brought. So did anybody bring any visitors today? How many did you bring? Two. All right. How many did you bring? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7? 7? How many did you bring? 2. So it looks like Janine wins with 7, so I owe Janine $70. Okay. Yes. I thought there would be no greater joy in life back in August 1978 than to marry the girl of my dreams, Mary. And then in September 1979, I thought there'd be no greater joy in life than the bundle bouncing baby boy that she gave me. And then in January of 1982, 2 sons, Aaron and Jonathan. Then in December 1983, Mary Beth. I thought there'd be no greater joy in life. And then all 3 of those children grew up, and I got to preside over their weddings. And each of them, serving the Lord, married someone who also loved the Lord. So I thought there'd be no greater joy in life than to see my children not only marry someone who loves the Lord also, but also get to preside over those weddings. And then something happened a year ago today. Do you know what it was? I became a grandpa. Now, we were practicing this sermon the other day. I told her, I need to do a sermon holding you a little bit. And, and she's used to me doing this. And I wasn't doing that. I was just talking, and she was looking at me like this. This is the greatest joy in life. I want you to know that. That's right. Okay, I'm going to give you back to Mommy. And I'm the kind of guy that plans ahead, so I want you to know, I think the next greatest joy in life, after having several more grandchildren will be to preside over their weddings. I hope I'm around and I can do it. I think God's reward for the extra aches and pains that you get as you grow older is grandchildren. You know, there's some mornings I get up, I feel like the Tin Man in The Wizard of Oz. Oh man, need the oil can, get moving, oh please. And I'm thinking, if I live to be 80, I got 26 more years of this. Please help. But when my granddaughter is around, nothing hurts, there are no problems. She loves to walk from one end of our house to the other, and then back, and then back. And of course, you can't let her go alone. No problem following her back and forth. I have come to the conclusion that my purpose in life right now is to be grandpa. And there's no greater joy in life. Now, when you become a grandpa, there are certain things that are automatic about being a grandpa. And one of them is you're going to be loved. Grandchildren love their grandparents, right? She can't say it yet. She can still return the hug. She can walk over and go like this, pick me up. She hasn't got the kissing part down yet, because when you ask for a kiss, you get this. You know you're loved if you're a grandparent. If you're going to be a grandparent, also, you're old. Well, maybe not. Mary has a great Aunt Helen, and when her granddaughters were little, they told their mother one time they wanted to go, they did not want to go home. She came to pick them up. They'd been with Grandma, and they did not want to go home. And their mother kept saying, come on, girls, we've got to, no, we want to stay with Grandma. We want to stay with Grandma. We want to stay. Well, why don't you want to go home? So, we want to stay with Grandma because at home there's nobody but old people. Grandma was a lot of fun. And if you know Mary's Aunt Helen, you know she's a lot of fun. Some mornings I get up, I feel absolutely wonderful. I don't feel old. I had a morning like that this past week. I got up. I had one of my favorite things for breakfast. I was feeling good. I said, man, I slept good. I feel like $1 million. And I was out, and somebody saw me, and they said, Don, are you all right? You really look beat. One thing I get to do as a grandpa is I get to be permissive. I've been telling my kids, and especially now that there is a grandchild, they know all the things they weren't allowed to do, no problem with their children. Ice cream for breakfast, not a problem. Stay up as late as you want, not a problem. It's all right. Because you see, I'm the grandpa now. And so I can be permissive. Another thing that's automatic when you become a grandparent is you are instantly wealthy. I don't have any children to spend my money on, right? I don't have them putting extra things in the grocery cart. And at least grandchildren think you're wealthy. And one of the reasons they're going to think that is there will be nothing that they ask for that they don't get. In fact, I've made it a personal goal in my life to make my children's lives an absolute nightmare. I want someday Ashlyn to look at her daddy in the eye and say, you said no? I'll go ask Grandpa. He'll get it for me. That will happen. Another thing is, when you become a grandparent, you have wisdom. Maybe you don't. But they think you do because you're old. And they think you know everything. And when my grandchildren tell me, boy, Grandpa, you know everything, I'm going to tell them, yes. Yes, I do. I do know everything. On a serious side, I realize that my decisions affect my grandchildren. Things that I decided when I was younger, and things that I decide now and in the future will affect my granddaughter Ashlyn. Just go back to Genesis chapter 5 here a minute. Give you the Reader's Digest version. Enoch, the son of Jared, and the father of Methuselah, who was the father of Lamech, who was the father of Noah, preached 120 years, and all the people did was laugh at him, and only 8 people got saved. Now, I'm not going to live to be 120 years old. I'm certainly not going to have 120 years of preaching when I'm done. But imagine 120 years of warning people of the judgment of God and telling them that they needed to get right with God. 120 years of obeying God, and what happened? 8 people believed Him.